Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Metal Gear Solid. In the last part, we took down Liquid. Quite literally, actually. And now we're back in the tower staircase, which means more gun cameras. Though thankfully I can easily avoid them thanks to chaff grenades, but still. You know, whatever I think, you know what? Let me restart that sentence. You know, whenever I think about chaff, I think of that one Mythbusters episode where they tried to make the cannon on the back of the car to avoid police radars. I think that got busted, didn't it? Yeah, I think it did. Oh, that's right, Mythbusters ended. Huh, that makes me sad. And I remember crying, too, because they played Perfect Day at the end, and that was probably the best way they could have ended it. Plus, they made Buster implode, which was more or less fun. Though I heard they're apparently going to bring it back with a new cast, and that's just not right. That ain't right at all. Also, call it a hunch, but I don't think a chaff grenade has that kind of range on it. Because if it could go everywhere like this, well then I'm questioning how it phases through walls and stairs quite clearly. And now we're finally back down to that elevator. That took way too long. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the only elevator that doesn't obey the rule of if you press the button, it comes to you immediately. Wonder why. Well, it doesn't take too long.
Huh?
Come on, I'm not that heavy. I hope. Mind you, I am carrying that many guns, so I might be, actually.
Snake, there's something I forgot to tell you before.
What?
There were 5 stealth camouflage prototypes in my lab.
Yeah, so?
If you take out the one I'm wearing, that leaves 4.
Hey, this isn't first grade math class.
I thought I'd get one for you. So I went back to the lab and...
Yeah?
The 4 suits were missing. Also, about the elevator that I checked out, it's really strange. It was like someone was intentionally holding it.
When you were riding on it, did the weight limit warning go off?
That's another thing that bothered me about it. The warning went off, and I know I couldn't be over the limit.
How much do you weigh?
About 135, but that elevator had a weight limit of 650 pounds.
It would take at least 5 people to go over that limit.
Look out, Snake! The guys who stole my stealth prototypes are in there with you!
Too late, Snake! Now die!
Fighting 4 guards that are a bit stronger than usual in an elevator. Man, they really took a lot from Solid Snake, didn't they? Either way, this fight is actually pretty tricky. My best strategy is to either use a stun grenade and try and chokehold and snap their necks if you want to, or just run around by holding square and X while firing the FAMAS. I'm not exactly sure what's the way you can go about not killing these guys, if there even is one, because they definitely take a lot more punishment. But, yeah. And the good thing about them is that when you kill them, they do drop ammo and rations, so it's impossible to get a dead game by not fighting these guys. But this fight can still be really annoying if you don't know the proper way to fight them. Though, I question why I can't just take their stealth prototypes after killing them. Oh well. I really like that sigh. Mind you, at this point, Snake's probably been through all this shit. Keep in mind, let's see, he had an 18-hour time limit at the start. Probably a good 10, 12 hours at this point of this shit. And really, I couldn't have jumped down that. I mean, I understand if you break your legs, you're more or less screwed, but he could have jumped onto those stairs and probably been okay. Mind you, he'll jump far worse later on. Especially in the sequels. Oh, don't even get me started on some of the shit that happens in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4. Also, keep your chaff grenades out because there are still gun cameras. Now that I think about it, they might actually be called auto turrets. At least that's what I recall something similar being called in Metroid Prime. I haven't played Metroid Prime 1 in God knows how long. Huh. I should go back to that at some point. And hello, lawnmower, or something going on outside. And it stopped. Ha! I'm the ultimate of commanders. Either way, just keep your chaff grenades out, because that can happen, and that can be bad. Heck, I've had playthroughs where I died here pretty stupidly. Oh, hey, a phone. Well, that was an annoying phone call. Sorry, I had to take that. And this looks like a place. Ow.
Snake, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Otacon, were there any other stealth prototypes?
No, there were only 5.
So, this isn't stealth camouflage then.
What are you talking about?
Someone's aiming at me in the middle of this blizzard.
It's her!
Wolf? Sniper Wolf?
Yes, it's her. It's definitely her.
Otacon, you sound like you're happy.
No, I'm not.
So then what is it?
Snake, please don't kill her.
Are you insane?
Please. She's a good person. You'd know that if you talked to her.
Listen to me, kid. She's a merciless killer.
I can see you perfectly from here. I told you, I'd never quit the hunt. Now you're mine.
Wolf, no, you can't.
Don't get between a wolf and its prey.
You're pretty good if you can hit me in this storm.
You see, women naturally make better soldiers.
Wolf, don't do this.
Snake, I'm near. Can't you sense me near you?
It's a mistake for a sniper to reveal her location.
Is that right? Well, I'm going to send you a love letter, my dear. Do you know what that is? It's a bullet straight from my gun to your heart.
Please, Wolf. Snake, no!
Quiet! Don't get in our way.
Now I'm gonna pay you back for Meryl.
You men are so weak. You can never finish what you start.
It's Sniper Wolf. You can only shoot at her with your PSG-1.
Snake, Wolf is hiding somewhere in that snowfield. First, you'll have to find out where she is.
She should come out of hiding briefly to shoot at you.
Sniper Wolf. It is pretty unusual for a sniper to announce their presence before they shoot. She must have a real thing for you. Anyway, I do not think it is going to be as easy as before.
I don't know why I kept on forgetting to record those with Sniper Wolf. Huh. Either way, the Sniper Wolf fight, I think what they want you to do is use the PSG-1 and Sniper from a distance again. However, she can't touch you over here. And we have remote-controlled missiles that have enough fuel to reach her. So, this is the dominant strategy, therefore, we use it. She is constantly moving behind these trees, but honestly, this fight isn't too hard. I've actually never done it the way you're supposed to, because this is just a much better way. And right now, oh, I don't know where she just went. It is important to note that with Nikita missiles, on the top left underneath Wolf's life bar, you can actually see its fuel meter. If that fuel runs out, it explodes without touching her. So, watch out for that. Thankfully, she never thinks to snipe the missile heading towards her, but, what you gonna do? Though it does cause some interesting inconsistencies during the cutscenes coming up. I'd assume this fight's actually really tough if you use the way you're supposed to do it, but the way I do it, there's never a chance of losing, really. In fact, there never is unless you run out of Nikita missiles, which you hopefully shouldn't. Ow. Though, mind you, I'm surprised with how, what's the word? With how invulnerable she is. You'd think one of these missiles would be enough to blow someone's legs off, but nope. By the looks, it takes about 9 or 10 of them in order to do her in. Ah, right in the ass. Ouch. Also, if you look right there, you can actually see that there is a truck here. That means you can probably figure out what kind of item we're going to get in this area later on. That's right. Stay still. Oh, come on, really? Ooh. Oh, I could have gotten a headshot. Thankfully, in case you could actually, in most cases, if she's next to a tree, hit the tree, and you should be able to hit her. Because, you know, explosions have a radius. There you are. Oh, come here. I think I was inside of her for a second there, honestly. PlayStation programming. It's a bit odd. Also, I have no idea what those variables are for in the bottom left. I know the middle one's the altitude, but I have no idea what the other two are. Because they move no matter what. I assume one of them was like Z coordinate, or not Z coordinate, rotation thing? Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Rotation degrees, but no, I have no idea what's going on with that. And she's down. That was much faster than I thought it would be, actually. Good, because I wouldn't have had anything else to talk about. Either way, let's see how she dealt with those 8 or so missiles to the face / leg. But first, let's go over here and get some ammo. Well, I could if I would, but I can't.
I waited for this moment. I am a sniper. Waiting is my job. Never moving a muscle. Concentrating. I am Longshot. You cannot save me. Please. Just finish me quick. I am a Kurd. I have always dreamed of a peaceful place like this.
A Kurd? So that's why you're called Wolf.
I was born on the battlefield. Raised on the battlefield. Gunfire, sirens, and screams. They were my lullabies. Hunted like dogs, day after day. Driven from our ragged shelters. That was my life. Each morning I'd wake up and find a few more of my family or friends dead beside me. I'd stare at the morning sun and pray to make it through the day. The governments of the world turned a blind eye to our misery. But then, he appeared. My hero. Saladin. He took me away from all that.
Saladin? You mean Big Boss?
I became a sniper. Hidden. Watching everything through a rifle's scope. Now I could see war. Not from inside, but from the outside. As an observer. I watched the brutality, the stupidity of mankind through the scope of my rifle. I joined this group of revolutionaries to take my revenge on the world. But I have shamed myself and my people. I am no longer the wolf I was born to be. In the name of vengeance, I sold my body and my soul. Now I am nothing more than a dog.
Wolves are noble animals. They're not like dogs. In Yupik, the word for wolf is Keglanek, and the Aleuts revere them as honorable cousins. They call mercenaries like us dogs of war. It's true, we're all for sale at some price or another, but you're different. Untamed, solitary. You're no dog. You're a wolf.
Who are you? Are you Saladin?
Wolf, you spared Meryl's life.
She was never my real target. I don't kill for sport.
Rest easy. You'll die as the proud wolf you are.
I finally understand. I wasn't waiting to kill people. I was waiting for someone to kill me. A man like you. You're a hero. Please, set me free.
Why? Why? I loved you.
What is it?
My gun. Give it to me. She's part of me. Everyone's here now. Okay, hero. Set me free.
Goodbye. Snake, you said that love could bloom on the battlefield. But I couldn't save her. What are you doing?
Returning it to its owner. I don't need a handkerchief.
Why?
I don't have any more tears to shed. I'm going to the underground base. We're out of time.
I know.
You'll have to protect yourself now. Don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
If I can't stop Metal Gear, this whole place will probably be bombed to hell.
Yeah.
We might not meet again.
I'll hang on to my codec. I want to keep helping.
You can leave anytime. Get a head start. A head start on your new life.
Snake! What was she fighting for? What am I fighting for? What are you fighting for?
What am I fighting for?
Legacy jokes.
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
Okay. I'll be searching too.
By the way, I'm at the point where that "what am I fighting for" thing is really annoying to me. Not because it's not mimetic. No, I absolutely love listening to it. It's just the fact that that's also my alarm on my phone for me to wake up. So very often in the morning, I just hear the scream of "what am I fighting for?" repeated like 20 times in a row. Oh, that's a claymore. And yeah, you really start to notice just how bad the echo effect in the ending of it is too. But yeah, before we actually head up into that new door, there's some other doors around here we can get some items in. You don't need to go into any of these. In fact, the only one you need to go into is the one that has the thing. The one door that you were directly below when you started. Northwestern one, either way. But might as well grab some items while you're here. But make sure you... Oh, I just bumped my mic with my headset. Sorry about that. Obviously, don't walk into these gun cameras view cones without using a chaff grenade, because that means you're gonna hurt a lot. Yeah. I'd have to wonder what's the purpose of all the security after the tower. Because this is a fairly low security area overall, so I wonder why. But obviously there's a new item over here. Cardboard box C. You can use that to get back here anytime you want if you want to backtrack to the previous areas. I don't, so I'm not going to. Though cardboard boxes, and in case you haven't noticed it, cardboard boxes in Metal Gear Solid aren't as useful as they were back in MGS, or Metal Gear 1, either of them, or Metal Gear 2, because enemies are a bit smarter this time around. If they notice the box is suspiciously placed, they'll check it out. And that can lead to some bad stuff happening. No, I was, hearing all these wolves around here, part of me kind of wishes that, like Resident Evil 4, one of them would kind of jump into the battle, but that could end up poorly, so I'm kind of glad they didn't at the same time. Just something to differentiate that fight from the original Sniper Wolf fight would have been great. Either way, this is actually a bit of a cool, special room, if you've ever played the game before. You know why. Use a chaff grenade, and see that stairwell in the top right? Once we head down it, something special happens. That's the end of disc 1. And now to insert disc 2, something that happens, yeah. Though I think this is the only game I've ever played on the PlayStation that has you press the start button after you insert the next disc, because usually they can detect it immediately. I know Final Fantasy did that for the most part. I think. It's actually been about a year since I last played any of the PlayStation Final Fantasies. I owe myself another playthrough of 7 or 9. And welcome immediately into lava. That's a thing. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this room here. Obviously avoid the guard, but you might notice over here there's this thing in the way. You can blow that thing up and have it go back into the lava, or fall into the lava rather, with a stinger. However, doing so triggers an alert phase, and I'm trying to be as stealthy as possible, so I'm not going to do that. And I've heard that the rats can knock you off, but I've never had that happen. You gonna move? By the way, if you let go of the button that's holding you towards the wall, Snake immediately falls into the lava, so don't do that. Is that lava or magma? I can't tell, but because we're not above, because we're technically below ground, yes, but we're not in the Earth's crust, you know what I mean? Science is weird, but I love it. And some stun grenades. There's a pathway down there that leads to, like, some ammo and rations, but it's not worth it at all in my eyes. Okay, what we got going on in here? Okay, this room is kind of pointless, honestly. There's some ammo, and I want to say the corners. But it's overall not really worth it. Because usually, if you're like me, you usually don't use a lot of your ammo, so yeah. But thankfully the elevator's here. Also, I don't know why I was equipping my thermal goggles. I think it's because I wanted to see where ammo was. And interact with this thing, and we should be good.
There he is.
Suddenly ninja guards. This fight is very easy. Why? Because you can either shoot them or do the proper thing, and that's throw or kick them over the railings, which kills them instantly. You don't get the drops, but oh well. Also, one thing I'm very late in mentioning is that Metal Gear Solid uses the Japanese button configuration. Circle is confirmed and not X. Needless to say, that throws me off a couple of times every playthrough. But yeah, this is pathetic. Kind of makes me question what the point of it is, though. Oh well. And now for possibly the most pointless room in the entire game. No, seriously. All this is another room that leads into another elevator. I don't get the point unless they just couldn't load the next room because of reasons immediately. I don't know. Obviously, there's a gun camera there, and that's why I threw a chaff grenade to try and avoid that, but no, the game had to say, screw you, Kyle. Which, mind you, a lot of games do frequently, but I don't care. Okay, I do, that's a lie. But, like, this room isn't needed because it immediately sends us into the next area anyway, on the same kind of elevator, so... Why are there two of them? Unless they needed to load a cutscene or something. What the... Those are crows. I think we know who's up next, don't we? Fantastic. Yeah, we did just kind of leave him in that tank, didn't we? Ugh, great. I usually actually spend these elevator sequences practicing my martial arts by kicking all over the place.
Snake, I've got something to tell you about Naomi Hunter.
What about her?
Is this conversation secure?
Don't worry, the monitor's off.
Okay.
What's up?
I was in the FBI too, you know.
I didn't know that. What's your point?
Dr. Hunter's story about her background, about her grandfather being an assistant secretary to Hoover in the FBI.
Yeah.
And then going undercover to investigate the mafia in New York.
Yeah, what about it?
It was all a big lie.
What did you say?
It was really bothering me. Why would she lie about it?
She lied.
She might be a spy.
Ridiculous.
Come on, even a high school student could see past it. The head of the FBI at that time, Edgar Hoover, he was a well-known racist. Didn't Naomi say that her father was Japanese?
Yeah.
Well, back then, there wasn't a single Asian investigator. Also, in the 1950s, the undercover mafia sting operations hadn't even started yet. They first started in 1960, in Chicago, not New York.
But...
You better check it out. The chief and the president mysteriously dying, and that ninja? Too many strange things are happening.
are you saying that Naomi might be behind it?
I don't know. Either that, or she's working with the terrorists.
Could it be?
If I find out anything, I'll call. In the meantime, be careful.
Colonel, where's Naomi?
I'm right here, Snake. What is it?
Oh, nothing. Forget it.
Strange.
Snake, by now those terrorists have finished their launch preparations. Stop wasting time.
Okay, I get it. I'll stop wasting my time. Good lord. Well, this looks kind of blue. Yeah, randomly enough, right? Well, actually, I suppose that's why they'd have the room in between the two elevators, because then we would almost immediately go from a hot area to a cold area, and that probably wouldn't work too well from structure. So I guess that's why they had to have that room there. Maybe, I may have just figured out the reasoning. Booyah! Structure architecture stuff is funny.
Welcome, Cossack. This is the end of the road for you. Right, my friends? Listen, they agree. Ravens aren't scavengers like most people think. They're simply returning to the natural world, that which is no longer needed. Sometimes they even attack wounded foxes.
You were the one in the M1 tank? Must have been a tight fit for a big boy like you.
But that was no true battle. The Ravens and I were testing to see what kind of man you were. The judgment is decided. The Ravens say you are a true warrior.
Am I hallucinating?
I can't move. The Raven has put the mark of death upon you. Blood from the east flows within your veins. Your ancestors too were raised on the barren plains of Mongolia. Inuit and Japanese are cousins to each other. We share many ancestors, you and I.
I don't have any crows in my family tree.
You jest, but indeed ravens and snakes are not the best of friends. Nevertheless, you will make a worthy adversary. You live in Alaska too. You know of the World Eskimo Indian Olympics?
Yeah, I know it. Must be a real threat in the muck-tuck eating contest.
Yes, you are right. But there is another event that I excel at. It is called the ear pull. It is an event where two opponents pull each other's ears while enduring the harsh cold. It tests spiritual as well as physical strength.
You want to pull each other's ears?
The form is different, but the spirit is the same. Rejoice, Snake! Ours will be a glorious battle.
This isn't glorious. It's just plain killing. Violence isn't a sport.
Well, we'll see if there's iron in your words.
Vulcan Raven is half Native Alaskan American and half Inuit. He was raised as a shaman, and they say he has supernatural powers. During the Cold War, he trained in Russia with the Bimbo, the Soviet Special Forces. In 1993, he was demoted by President Yeltsin following his coup d'etat, so he fled the country and became a mercenary. After that, he joined those rent-a-war bastards at Outer Heaven, Inc. He stayed there until he joined us in Foxhound, thanks to a strong recommendation from Revolver Ocelot.
That cannon he's holding is a 20mm Vulcan gun. You usually see them mounted on fighter planes. You can't take him on in a firefight. He'll make mincemeat of you.
He's not just strong, Snake. He's a graduate emeritus from Alaska University, so he's a quick thinker, too.
In any case, you'd better not try to attack him from the front. Normal weapons are no match for his 20mm Vulcan. Try to attack him from the sides or behind.
Raven is holding an M61A1 20mm multi-turreted machine gun. They are usually mounted on F-16s. With its 6 rotating turrets, it can fire 4,000 20mm rounds per minute, and it is accurate too. If you come at him from the front, he'll turn you into burst.
So yeah, Vulcan Raven is a boss fight, and a bit of an interesting one at that. Like they said, you should not let him see you at all, because that Vulcan hurts. This is actually the first boss fight that's a lot more like, the closest thing I can compare it to is Mr. Freeze from Arkham City, where if you're trying to stealth kill him. Claymores placed on the ground are the best way to go because he can't see them at all. You can also use stingers and Nikitas, I believe, but you have to make sure you hit him from the back or the sides, not the front, otherwise he'll shoot them down. Somehow. A good tactic to use for this is a bait and switch of sorts, where you let him see you to follow you into a claymore. But beyond that, there's not much strategy to this guy. That was a failure of a sentence ending. Beyond that, there's not much more to this guy. He does randomly stop to fire every couple of seconds, obviously. And he can actually destroy some of the containers with that, causing some to fall and block off certain paths. However, doing so will also cause some items to drop. Make sure you have some claymores for this fight, otherwise you're in for a long one. I think there are some located around the place, but you really need to make sure you're good for this. Keep the mine detector on at all times, because if you're not, you shouldn't be getting hit much anyway. Just so you don't step on your own claymores, because as I mentioned before, if you step on your own claymore, that is instant kill. Which, not fun. So as for the stuff they were mentioning there, you might notice they mentioned something called muck-tuck. Muck-tuck's a bit of an interesting thing. It's a meal of frozen whale skin and blubber, which doesn't sound too good to me. But hey, if it's a thing. I want to say borscht is a tart soup as well, but I'm not exactly sure about that one. random time to have food conversations, but honestly, this boss fight, while it's fun, isn't too hard or interesting. On this difficulty, at least. I think certain bosses actually get their patterns slightly changed on higher difficulties. Like, more damage, obviously, more health for them. And I want to say their tactics get a bit more advanced. But don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. I usually only play on easy or normal because, well, I have played the game on hard before, and I think even extreme at one point. I find games generally are a lot more fun and balanced on their normal mode because that's how games work. I don't know how he spotted me there. Either way, Raven, nothing too hard. Especially when it walks into your minds randomly like this. Gotta love that.
Just as the boss said, it is my existence which is no longer needed in this world. But my body will not remain in this place. My spirit and my flesh will become one with the ravens. In that way, I will return to Mother Earth who bore me. Snake! I will be watching you. Understand? Snake, take this security card. It will open that door.
Why?
You are a snake which was not created by nature. You and the boss. You are from another world. A world that I do not wish to know. Go and do battle with him. I will be watching from above. First, I'll give you a hint. The man who you saw die before your eyes.
What is it?
That was not the Darker Chief. It was Decoy Octopus, a member of Foxhound. He was a master of disguise. He copied his subjects down to the blood. So he drained the chief's blood and took it into himself. But he wasn't able to deceive the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death. But why go to so much trouble? Why impersonate the chief?
That is the end of my hint. You must solve the rest of the riddle yourself. Snake, in the natural world, there's no such thing as boundless slaughter. There is always an end to it, but you are different.
What are you trying to say?
The path you walk on has no end. Each step you take is paved with the corpses of your enemies. Their souls will haunt you forever. You shall have no peace. Hear me, Snake. My spirit will be watching you.
Snake, it's me.
Master.
It's about Naomi. Turn your monitor off.
What about Naomi?
Colonel, is Naomi there?
No, she's away. She's taking a short nap. So what is this about Naomi?
Okay, maybe we'd better let the Colonel hear this too.
Yeah. Go on, Master.
Well, basically, Dr. Naomi Hunter is not Dr. Naomi Hunter at all.
What?
I thought her story of her background sounded kind of fishy, so I checked it out.
And?
There is an actual Dr. Naomi Hunter, or I should say, there was one. But she's not the woman we know. The real Naomi Hunter disappeared somewhere in the Middle East. Our Naomi must have somehow obtained her identification papers.
So then who is she really?
She must be some kind of spy.
A spy?
Yes. Maybe she's been sent to sabotage this operation.
Are you saying she's with the terrorists?
I don't want to believe it either, but she is working for Foxhound.
So you think she had a part in the uprising?
Or she could be working with some different group altogether.
Different group? It couldn't be.
Place her under arrest.
What?
She's betrayed us. She needs to be arrested and interrogated to find out who she's with.
If she's one of their spies, then we're in big trouble.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Have you let her in on some kind of vital secret or something? Does this have anything to do with the mysterious deaths of the DARPA chief and the Arms Tech president?
I have no idea.
Anyway, we cannot allow her to participate any further in this mission.
Wait a minute. Without her, we can't complete this mission.
I knew it. You're hiding something.
Give me some time. I'll try to get it out of her.
Hurry then. We've got to figure out who she is and what she's doing here.
I understand. Snake, give me some time.
I don't have any time left for you.
Well, that was a bombshell and a half there, wasn't it? That explains the DARPA chief's body back in the torture room, at least. But something seems up about this entire plot. Also, his gun is here. Fun fact, I used to think the ammo rack was his spine. Though I have to question, how in the hell did crows and ravens... Well, actually, no, those are two names for the exact same thing, aren't they? Either way, how did they eat the bones? Unless Raven was just a giant pile of gelatin held up by muscle. Which, honestly, I can see. Either way, with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in Part 8, we're progressing farther in this base. See you guys then.